What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today I want to talk to y'all about a story, actually a couple of stories, there's two of them, that took place recently that illustrate the cowardice that it is that we are taught to have in this country and the results of it. There's just, we have way too many folks who've seen way too many movies. We have way too many folks who fear their own shadow, who have been told that immigrants are coming for them, that they are rapists and drug dealers. There's way too many people that have been told that black people are savages and they're animals and they're aggressive. There's just way too much white supremacy and fear mongering and hate, and it's just overwhelming. There's just way too much of it. And you have it here in two stories where homeowners fired at people that came to their homes, and both of the folks that came to the homes came mistakenly, and the homeowners in both instances fired aggressively, and the circumstances couldn't be more different for the victims. Let's dive into it. This is an article from The Guardian. Buckets of tears. Mother of black teen shot after going to wrong address speaks. By now you have to have heard of Ralph Yarl. All right, here we go. The mother of Ralph Yarl, a black teenager who was shot by a white man after ringing the man's doorbell, says that her son has been mentally replaying the shooting over and over. How could he not? You go to somebody's house, you ring the doorbell, the last thing you expect is you're going to get shot twice for ringing a doorbell because some chicken sits behind that door. Some coward sits behind that door who has been propagandized his whole life and probably has racist views, but we don't know yet. We need the details, because here you're presumed innocent until proven guilty, right? Cleo Nagby says that her son is still facing physical challenges from last week's attack when Andrew Lester, a white Kansas City resident, shot Yarl twice, once in the head and once in the arm, after the 16-year-old went to a mistaken address to pick up his siblings. In an interview on Tuesday with CBS Mornings, Nagby said her son was still coping with the residual effects of being shot in the head. I can't even imagine. The bullet was not removed from Yarl for more than 12 hours, and the resulting injury may remain with her son for quite a while, she said. Nagby added that Yarl communicates when he wants to, but mostly he just sits there and stares, and the buckets of tears just rolls down his eyes. You can see that he is just replaying the situation over and over again, Nagby said. And that just doesn't stop my tears either, because when you see your kid just sits there and constantly tears are just rolling from both of his eyes, there's nothing you can say to him. Yarl is surrounded by a team of medical professionals. Nagby added that, as well as his uncle, aunt, and Nagby herself, who have been a nurse for 20 years. Since being released from the hospital, Yarl's been recovering at home. The 16-year-old honor student and marching band member spoke with Joe Biden on Monday, with the president saying he would pray for Yarl and his family and call for justice, reports the Kansas City Star. Yeah. Round and round we go. Round and round it go. Round and round it go. Let me hear you say scrub the ground. Sorry. Anyway, round and round we go, though. Lester was charged with assault in the first degree, which is Missouri's term for attempted murder, according to KansasCity.com, and armed criminal action. He faces a maximum sentence of life in prison if convicted of assault in the first degree, and a maximum of 15 years in prison for the armed criminal action, the armed criminal action charge. Now, keep in mind, he didn't get charged until there was public outrage. Shout out Sean King for raising the flag of this story and making it a nationwide story, even though he didn't get any credit. Lester turned himself over to the police on Tuesday, and he was released after leaving a statement. Authorities announced Lesser's charges in a Monday press conference with the prosecuting attorney, Zachary Thompson, adding that the shooting had a racial component. You think? But Thompson added that charging documents did not say that Lesser's actions were racially motivated. And keep in mind, racism is an invented thing by powerful people to keep people that have no power divided from each other so that we never unite to gain power. Remember that. If you look at children, toddlers, they're not racist. They run up to every baby they see and they play together. No problem. It's not until we as parents start teaching them that you don't play with those dark-skinned kids over there, or you don't play with those kids over there, or you don't play with those kids over there. It's when we start teaching them those things that racism becomes a thing. And we're taught that crap. But it was handed down to us by powerful people who didn't want working people to work together to overthrow powerful people and create a more just society. Keep that in mind, because racism is invented. It's a tool of the wealthy. And when you fall for it, you're falling for succotash. And we got to do better. There's a racial aspect. But Thompson added that charging documents did not say the actions were racially motivated. We understand how frustrating this has been, but I can assure you the criminal justice system is working and will continue to work, Thompson said. The shooting has outraged many in Kansas City and across the country, with many calling it another example of racist violence against black children. I agree with all of that. The article goes on, and you can read it. I'll have it in the comment section. But here you have one story of a shooting that involved a chicken homeowner who decided he was going to shoot a visitor to his home. Now, he probably did it because he was hateful or whatever, allegedly. But whatever the case may be, he did it because he had a gun, and he's been taught through media, movies, consequences of stories, Trayvon Brown, stand your ground, and all this other horse crap that he's got to defend his castle, because that's what we're taught. Now I'm going to give you another story, and this time it wasn't a young black boy who knocked on a white man's door. This time it wasn't. Remember, I told you the victims couldn't be more different. So here we go. This is according to News 10. Saratoga County. Community mourns loss of mistaken address shooting. The victim, Kaylin Gillis. Kaylin, that sounds like a girl. Maybe it's a girl. Let's take a look. It is a girl. The community of Schuylerville is expressing its tremendous grief after the loss of Kaylin Gillis. Police say, after the loss of Kaylin Gillis. Police say the 20-year-old was shot and killed by a homeowner when she and a group of friends got lost and found themselves at the wrong address. Invaders are coming. A 20-year-old is at the wrong address. Shoot them. The Washington County Sheriff says Kaylin was a passenger in a vehicle that 65-year-old Kevin Monahan allegedly fired upon from his home in Hebron, a rural community in Washington County, New York. She really was a friend to all and cared about everyone around her, and that just demonstrates the type of student she was, the person she was, and the loss that this entire community will feel, said Katie Ellsworth, principal of Schuylerville Middle School. Just 2 years after graduating from Schuylerville High School, Kaylin's life was abruptly cut short. Her accused killer, 65-year-old Kevin Monahan, is now charged with second-degree murder. During a Monday press conference, Washington County Sheriff Jeff Murphy said the Hebron homeowner allegedly shot into a vehicle in which Kaylin was a passenger after she and a group of friends got lost and mistakenly pulled into Monahan's driveway. Murphy says the shooting was unprovoked as the vehicle had been turning around. Have you ever pulled into a driveway to bust a U-B? You know, a U-turn? You're on a small road, you need to make a U-turn. You ever turned into someone's driveway? This person shot at a person in a car for turning into their driveway. And some nuts out there will sit there and go, well, that's reasonable, stay off my property. Come on, dog. Murphy says the shooting was unprovoked. Again, the car was turning around. The group had to drive several miles to the town of Salem to call for help due to the spotty cell phone service in the area. Kaylin was known to have enjoyed many pursuits, especially art. While speaking with reporters at the high school, Principal James DeCarmi spoke of her artwork, which includes a drawing of singer Billie Eilish, a smiling self-portrait, as well as another drawing of Kaylin and a friend. And it's that piece that is her lasting legacy with us, he said. You know, this artwork, we still have 2 years after her graduation, and that should speak volumes to the impact she had while she was here. In a Facebook post, Kaylin's father wrote that the family will never be the same and that his daughter had looked forward to starting college in Florida to pursue her dream of becoming a marine biologist. She leaves behind a grieving family, which includes 2 younger siblings who also attend school in the district, one in 9th grade, the other in 7th grade. I just ask that you keep the family in your thoughts and prayers. When those kids come back to school, that's when they're going to need us the most. But we are there for the family. If they need anything from the school district, we will be there, said District Superintendent Greg Bartholomew. There's a GoFundMe, blah, blah, blah. As for Monahan, he's expected in court on Wednesday. There you have 2 stories, both about folks ending up at the wrong address, both resulting in shootings. One person died, the other person survived being shot in the head and the arm. The assailants, both terrified, scary, coward homeowners who are sucked into this idea that they're going to be the hero of their story by defending their home by any means necessary against cars making U-turns and brothers picking up their younger siblings. Great threats. Way to go, guys. Make no mistake, the conditions that we live in are labor issues because, and here's what everybody fails to put together, that 16-year-old boy who got shot going to someone's house, that could have been any labor person's son. That could have been any one of us. That 20-year-old girl in a passenger car making a U-turn in a driveway, that could have been any one of our kids. So yes, all of it matters. All of it is our issues. Human rights are our labor rights. All of these issues, gun rights, all of these issues, gun regulation, safety, all of these issues are labor issues. All of them, and we cannot shy away from any of them. We have a responsibility to each other to be involved in all of them. And we have to come to compromises where compromises are needed, but we have to come to a solution to problems we all face together. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember, the fight's not left and right. It's up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one. Get out there and reach one. And there can be no union without you and I front and center. Peace.